Hello, Commons kids. Welcome to our September 29th online church service. My name is Larissa, and on behalf of our kids and youth team, we are sending you a big hello and thank you so much for choosing to spend part of your morning here with us. We have some fantastic things planned for you. We have a lovely worship element together. We have fantastic Bible stories, and Miss Ashley has come up with really creative and inspiring crafts for you to do at the end of this playlist. In our earlier classes, we are continuing our series called Beginnings, and these are looking at all the origin stories in the book of Genesis, which is the first book in the Bible. Now, the big idea in this series is that when we choose to listen to God and God's instructions, that can help us to make the right decision, especially when we're not sure which path to take. Now, we're going to listen to the story of these two people in the Bible called Adam and Eve, which you learned about last week. And how instead of listening to God's instructions, they chose to listen to the voice of someone else, the voice of someone who wasn't looking out for their best interests. And lots of bad things happened after that. However, like all good stories, there is a resolution in the end, and God sent Jesus to repair the damage that Adam and Eve had done. In our elementary school classes, we are continuing our series called Genesis Aftermath. Now, the big idea in this story is that sometimes it is really difficult to follow God's instructions, and it takes a lot of strength. But thankfully, that strength can help us to be set apart. And when we're set apart, we can also help our friends and our family and those around us to also follow God's instructions. So we're going to listen to the story about a man named Noah and the ark that he built because he listened to God's instructions, and what all the things that happened after that. It's a really great story, so buckle up for that one. Now, I mentioned that it takes a lot of strength to follow God's instructions. And sometimes we need the help of the Holy Spirit. Sometimes we need God's help to find that strength within us to make the right decisions. So I wanted to read to you guys a poem from our lovely book called Images of God. And this poem is called God is Strength. God is strength. There is no love stronger than God's, no gentleness or tenderness more powerful than God's. And all that God has given us, forgiveness, life, joy, comes from God's great strength. And yet, God does so with such gentleness that no one is forced to accept it. Now, that's enough for me. I'm going to let you guys go to worship, to the Bible lessons, and the really cool craft activity. And until then, we will see you next Sunday. Have a great morning, guys. See you.